What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bluzelle BLZ today at the request of cryptocurrency for beginners. And we're going to be doing this right now. You wanted to talk about when a good time to get in is. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. As far as that question goes, that's up to you to decide personally, but I will provide my opinion as to where I think good entry points are, nonetheless. But not financial advice, just my opinions. Looking at Bluzelle for what it is, it's phenomenal, man. I love this thing. I really do. I can't wait to see what it does in the coming cycle. But you do have, a little bit of bearish divergence on your monthly. On the bright side, it's not severe divergence, but you probably do come down a little bit. You're at 29.6 cents now. From low to high, relatively speaking, on a weekly basis, at a minimum, you're going to see 23 cents. But what's more often expected, I would say, is this 382 area. 16.86 cents is where I think you're going. Somewhere around there, maybe right to it, maybe right above it, maybe right below it. It's very common to actually go just a little bit below your 382 on the first pass, but you could hold it a little bit above as support. You do have a weekly closing high right here at about 17.8 cents. So if I was looking to buy Bluzelle, and I am, this is one of the coins that I hold, actually. It's one of my bigger, it's not the biggest, but it is one of my bigger holdings for sure. It's a decent part of my portfolio, but I've definitely got some other coins that I'm more invested in, but I would like to add to this one. And where I'm going to add to it, even though this 382 is here, and I kind of do expect it to hit that 382 to a T, 16.86 cents, I'm going to buy basically when I see it below 20 cents. I'm not going to put my buy orders in at 20 cents. I don't even have buy orders set up now, but when I wake up and I see the prices below 20 cents, I'm going to buy. Maybe it's at 19 cents, maybe it's at 17 cents, whatever. I'm going to buy. And like ideally, I would probably buy like right there at that high. Maybe if that's at that high on a closing basis is, you see the C up here says closing, that's C. It's at 17.83 cents. I might buy at 18 cents. 18 cents on the dot. That would be where I would buy, personally. As far as where do I think it's going to go for the low, it's probably going to go to 16.86 cents, like pretty precisely, if not a little bit below. Bluzelle does respect its 382 very well, as we've seen in the past. So that's my expectation on this, man. That's where I think it's going to go. After that, we're going to see a phenomenal move up. I think Bluzelle's going to be one of the best performers of the market, man. It's worth 29.6 cents right now. I have high price targets for this thing, man. I think it could go all the way up to $100. $100. Yes, you heard me correctly. Let's do the math. Is that even possible? Yes. Let's do the math. Bluzelle, 126 million market cap at these prices. 126. So all the way up at $100, right? What would that do? All the way up, literally at 176 cents. That would be a 345x. 345x. 345 times 126.26. I'm not going to do that math. I could, but I might mess it up. So, what was it? 126.6. Oh, 126.26. I'm sorry. 264. Yes. Times 345.15. And these are in millions. It says that, but treat it as millions, okay? So if 100 is, that would be 580 million. This would be 43.5 billion. Is that a high market cap? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Is it an achievable market cap? Absolutely it is. Yes, it is, especially for a coin that's been around for multiple cycles now. I'm pretty sure it came out, if it came out in 2018, like early 2018, that sounds about right, but it might have come out in late 2017, I forget. Maybe it just wasn't listed, maybe it ICO'd, or it had like private sales before then. But this coin's been around for a bit now, longer than most coins. And for a coin that's been around this long, it's done some phenomenal things, right? It hasn't done phenomenal things as far as like new all-time highs go. No, it hasn't. Maybe that has something to do with the ICO listing. You know, maybe it was too high, whatever. Who knows? But there's definitely some interest in this thing going up here. You can't really see it by this volume, but you can see it by this volume here, right? At the all-time lows on a monthly basis. If we pull up the volume, you can see it here. It's this little area here. On a monthly basis, the highest level of volume we saw was 1.348 billion tokens traded in 1 month. On this chart, man, you can see volume has... Oh, something's wrong with my voice. Hold on. I don't know what's wrong with my voice. I'm just going to stop clearing my throat, but it's still there. It's like I got this... Feels like a film, man. I can't get rid of it for some reason, but I will later, but just not right now. So if my voice sounds a little funny, that might be why. Maybe it's just to me though. So what I was saying was, and I got rid of it just out of habit, but that's the highest volume that we have on this chart. Volume died off, but the reason for that is USDT came in after that. This is BLZ USD on Binance. The highest traded volume for any coin is the USDT pairing on Binance, okay? Unless it's not on Binance, then it would be some other thing. But if it's on Binance, the highest traded volume for any coin would be on the Binance chart, the USDT chart specifically. So right here, again, remember on a monthly basis here, 1.348 billion tokens, right? The most volume so far. Right here, this is Tethers. You can see it's a lot smaller of a chart, right? It didn't exist back then. This is the largest volume, and it happens to be out of this low. So the largest volume we saw beforehand was off the previous all-time lows, right? The current all-time lows, actually. This is the next high in volume. How much was that? That was 7.986 from like 1.3 or 1.8 or what was it? It was 1 point. I think it was 1.3. 1.34, essentially 1.35. All the way up to 7.9. You did like a 5x, like maybe just under a 5x. I'm not going to do the math in my head, but you did way more volume breaking out of these lows here in this cycle. Do I think that a coin that has been around for multiple bear cycles now, right, will now have been in its second bull cycle, do I think it's possible for this thing to see new all-time highs? Yes, I do. Do I think it's possible for something like this with more interest for some reason? It's a gaming data storage coin on the blockchain, right? Oh, I'll be right back. Hold on, guys. I got to deal with something. I'm back. Sorry, had to check on something. It's a gaming data storage coin on the blockchain. Gaming, right? GameFi, whatever. Gaming is the is projected to be the next up and coming thing for this cycle, right? Last cycle it was meme coins. If we had DeFi Summer, the cycle before that it was ICOs, which basically is just any brand new altcoin, right? You know, there's all these memes trends in each cycle, right? And I think gaming is going to be one of the headlines for this one. Metaverse was last cycle also, right? I think gaming will definitely play into that. So a coin like this, does it deserve a $1 billion market cap? It's been around for a while. Does it deserve a $1 billion market cap? I think so. $1 billion would at least, I mean, a 10x from here would be $1.2 billion. But I think that's small potatoes, man. For something like this, for what has increasing interest, you had a lot of volume down here. You have even more volume, and this is in tokens, not US dollars, right? The added volume here, not only is it more tokens, but it's at a higher price. That means like it's like substantially more interest on a money perspective. Somebody bought a lot on this here, right? I very much do believe that incredible things are coming for Bluzelle. I do think that it's going to see phenomenal price growth. The minimum targets that we have would take it from the current price, would take it to a 4x, almost a 5x. The maximum targets like of expectation would be a 12x, right? But that's just on this like relative like expected area on the extensions. I very much do think we're going to see prices substantially higher than that. We could break $100. I think we will see these deeper extensions come into play. The reason I said minimum price is because these are like the minimum expectations. That would be new all-time highs. And I want to just like backtrack on that for a second, right? Because I did say minimum price. I don't expect that that's the minimum price. This is what the fibs tell us as a minimum price. This is not what I expect, because we just broke out to new all-time highs after being held down for multiple cycles, and we have more volume, substantially more volume now at higher prices than we ever have before, and it hasn't gone down. It's got higher lows cycle to cycle, which is better than most cryptos could ever hope for, and it's a gaming coin, which is supposed to be the up and coming stuff, right? And it's still a low cap at 126 million. Do I think it's going to stop here when it finally breaks its all-time highs right here? Like, does this seem like a stopping point? Hell no. Hell no. Here, maybe. Probably not. Probably not. I think we've got years of pent-up aggression, and it's going to be taken out. At least my personal minimum. This isn't what the minimums are on the fibs, but my personal minimum that I would expect would be a 73.5x 2272. Very common extension for a lot of cryptos, actually. It's a very, look it up. If you know how to use fibs, look it up, man. The 2272, plug it in. You know, you double click this here. You type it in yourself if it's not there already, but you can check these boxes, whatever. I've got mine set up over here, whatever. You type it in yourself if it's not there, but it should be there, and you just have to check it. 2272 is right there, from this relative cycle high to the relative cycle low. That's my personal minimum expectation. The 2618 is a decent target to hit, right? And that would be at $53. That's about half of my personal expectation of $100, or should I even say hope? My hopes, expectations, whatever, $55. Sorry, it's at $55. That's still a 182 and almost a 183x. That's phenomenal from the current price. And I'm talking about this thing going lower. What would let's put it at the minimum? My personal minimum expectation is right here. Not what the fibs are telling us, but my personal minimum expectation. Let's say we go down to 16 whatever cents, but you buy it at 18 cents. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy it there. That turns that 74x into a 120x. Right? Nuts, bro. Nuts. Do I think that's possible? Not only do I think that's possible, I think we're going to demolish that price. I think we're going to go phenomenally higher. So Bluzelle, to me, is one of the best, if not the best, coins that I personally hold, that I believe in for growth. I do not, it's not my biggest position. Out of all the coins that I hold, I've done the math. I'm pretty sure, besides, there's a coin called Jesus Coin that I invest into, and I really like that. Besides Jesus Coin, this is the one that I think will grow above all else. But if there's one thing I've learned in my time in investing is, if you believe something's going to grow phenomenally, don't put all your money in it. Put a small amount of money, or like a smaller portion of your portfolio, because it might not. You want to put, and I'm very certain of this thing, I'm very sure of it. Right? It all makes sense to me. But I'm not going to bet on one thing, the one thing that I think is going to grow the most. I'm going to bet on the things that I'm like, I feel safe in necessarily. And I do feel safe in this. You know, it's maybe that's not the best way to say it, but I don't know. Like, I'm very confident that Bitcoin Cash is going to do well this cycle. I'm very confident that Mana is going to do well this cycle. Decentraland, you know, I'm very confident that Dogecoin is going to do well this cycle as well, and CleanSpark. the mining stock. You know, I put my money in stuff like that, like whenever it comes to like larger holdings. But they probably won't grow as much, but that's okay. Less risk, less reward, but the less risk is key. This might be a higher risk thing, though I really don't think it is. But what I'm trying to get to is I am going to add more. It's a pretty decent size of my portfolio now. I'm probably going to double down on it here soon, and I have, you know, even then it'll still be not my biggest bag. Probably not even like if I'm holding 10 different assets, it might be like my fourth or fifth biggest hold at the moment, you know, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because if it performs the way that I expect it to, it'll become my biggest hold by large. And then I'll cycle that money into the things that I feel safer in, or that I'm more certain of, that might have more constructive growth. Not that this thing doesn't have constructive growth, it looks like it to me, but I'm talking so much right now, so I'm going to end the video. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to see more. I have a lot of hope and high aspirations for this thing. It's one of the coins that I'm most excited for. And I'll just leave it at that. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.